Okay, got back from our Omaha and Kansas City trip just this last weekend. Starting with Omaha, we felt good going in matchup wise. We felt like I think the game plan wise was good. I feel like it was a game where I think Frank Fiddler kind of had a little bit to say with the outcome. We just couldn't keep him off the foul line. Sometimes, we just didn't do a very good job. From a team standpoint, we've been really good at playing defense without fouling, and for that game, we didn't. And when you go back and watch the film, we fouled him, and he gets to the free throw line that many times. He's too good a player to just give him, freebies, and he's he's one of the best free throw shooters in the country, so you don't want to foul him. Still had opportunities. I looked up at one point, and it was 33 all, and I just felt like it was a little bit of kind of what we've been seeing the previous 2 weeks, where we weren't playing at the level that we can. We weren't as connected and as engaged and just on both sides of the floor. But I looked up, and we were tied at 33. And, and that's that game. We did not – we kind of had a similar second half to what we've had in the previous weeks, where we didn't really respond to the challenge and the adversity that we were going through. What's the difference between that and then you go play a Kansas City team who's really good, really talented, really physical, great rebounding team, comes at you almost like a junkyard dog, bully style type stuff. And what's the difference between a Thursday and a Saturday that we come out in a different mindset and we don't play perfect at all, but we competed. And I thought we were engaged and we were connected. We played with a lot more purpose and a lot more urgency that night. There isn't anything magical that we said to them. I think that's what, we got to understand as a team that like each guy individually has a responsibility to showing up and competing at a level that they can. And like sometimes it's that simple. Like, are you bringing your best to help this team be at its best? And that night, the thing we did well against Kansas City, or that afternoon, was we competed better. And we made plenty of mistakes, second chance points and points in transition. We gave up, I think, 13 or what did we say? I think 21 points in the first half just on those things. And second half, we cleaned it up. We rebounded better. We were just tougher-minded defensively. Did a great job of attacking, getting the ball into the heart, and getting better shots. I think we ended up shooting 14 threes is all. I think we made 7 of 15 or 7 of 16, I think, from three. And we were a 48% field goal team. And we were willing to do the things that are really, really hard that game. And that's being offensively playing with pace, taking care of the ball, getting the ball inside, making the extra passes, defensively getting back in the second half, not giving them second chance points in the second half. And when you do those things and you do them at a level that we can, we're a lot better team. And there wasn't anything magical as a coaching staff we said or did from Thursday to Saturday. I felt like the guys were really ready to play. And that's something they've got to take. Like, we've got to understand that every time we step on the floor, it's going to be really hard, and are we willing to do the hard things? So I loved how we played on Saturday, but, man, there was still a lot to clean up. But let's start with competing hard. Let's start with playing together, communicating. So that's the weekend, and obviously we got a really good weekend with Oral Roberts and Denver, two just really good offensive teams. And they're experienced. They got older guys. So like we got a work cut out. Like this is a great weekend, a great opportunity for us. And we're out and excited about playing on Thursday and Saturday. Questions?
What do you guys need to do this weekend to get a couple conference wins?
Yeah, come out and absolutely fight as hard as we can and be unified as a team and toughen up. Right? Be tougher with the ball. Be tougher guarding the ball. Be tougher on the glass. Come out and compete. Let's when we hit some adversity, let's connect better. Let's engage better. Let's talk better. Let's do the hard things better when it's not just going our way. Because basketball is a game of runs, right? And like we all got to have a little Pepto-Bismol in us, right? We got to stop the runs at some point in time during the game. You know what I'm saying, Tim? I mean, it is. It's a game of runs, and if you can't stop the runs, you're gonna give up. You're gonna give up big leads, or you're gonna give up leads. You're gonna allow them to take bigger leads, and I think that's what's happened to us up until the Kansas City game. So, like, we got to be tougher with that.
You alluded to it a little bit, but I asked Trayson the same thing. It's easy to get frustrated the last few weeks when the talent is there, but the results haven't shown.
Yeah.
As a coach, what are you doing to keep positive and know that there is still Summit League play?
It's easy to kind of stay positive when you know the guys. Like and I've said it. Like, I love coaching these guys. We don't have these guys that are rolling eyes, at least from what we can see, right? I don't know what always goes on in locker rooms. But, like, I really trust these guys. I trust what they're saying. I trust what they're doing. But, like, they got to have that same trust with themselves and with each other and with us. And so for us, honestly, it's easier to stay positive. You almost get frustrated in the sense that we can see it. As coaching staff, we see it. I don't know if they always see what they're capable of. Even though we're up 17 at Northern Arizona, there was a time in that first half when we're up 17 where guys were frustrated because it wasn't going our way, and we're still up 10, 12, 14 points at one point. Like, let go, figure it out, and compete harder. Don't get caught up in a missed shot. Don't get caught up in a defensive mistake. On to the next play. And I think we took a step with that in Kansas City, because that's not an easy place to go in and play and win. But like, it's something that you do it once, great. You got to do it every single time you step on the floor. And that consistency is what we're missing right now. But it's there. We believe in these guys and what our abilities are. But they've got to have some belief in that too, and they got to have some belief in each other in the hardest, most difficult times when you're facing adversity on the court. When you have that, now you got a team that can overcome a lot.
You said Kansas City was a tough place to play in, and BJ Omont had a really great game, career high 30 points just as a sophomore. How have you seen him maybe develop over the past couple of years?
I think for him it's just staying in attack mode. He's pretty good at making the right play. I mean, we put a lot on him defensively because a lot of times he's guarding one of the best. So he's got that expectation every time he plays. But like when BJ's rebounding well, when BJ's cutting without the ball, when he's attacking with the ball, I think it gets him in a mindset where now when that ball does find him for some open threes, they're a little more game rhythm, right? And I think you saw that in that Kansas City game, because he's a good shooter. Percentages aren't great right now, and so it's continually working when you don't have the ball, and when you're a target, and Trayson's a target, BJ's a target, Tyree's becoming a target where teams are focused on you. Early offense isn't always really easy, so you got to allow yourself to get lost. And I think BJ did a really good job that game of being attack mode and allowing himself to let the ball find him again in areas where he can be successful. And, that was great to see that. And, sometimes when you're a guy, and there's a few of our guys, we're asking a lot of you on both sides of the floor, it's easy to get frustrated. But I just think he's really remained in the right headspace, even when things aren't easy and perfect for him. And I've been really proud of him for that, because he's kept really good composure during times where maybe it would be easy to get frustrated.
Do you feel like games like that for a kid that's only a sophomore maybe builds confidence, and you're hoping to see that kind of continue on through the rest of the season as he continues to grow too? I
mean, I think you'd like to think so, right? I don't ever really worry about BJ and confidence too much. He's a pretty confident kid. I definitely think it helps. I think what I hope he sees is we're going to find him, and the ball's going to get to him again. And just kind of have patience with it, especially if it's not early, if it's not sweet and easy on that first early offensive side of the floor, just to trust that the ball's going to find him again. Trey, same thing with him, and getting T, a little more like, I got opportunities to post up, I got opportunities to rebound, I got opportunities to catch and shoot. Like, getting him a little more engaged and connected offensively as well. I just feel like sometimes we're a six-cylinder that's working on about four, and if we can get all six cylinders working at the same time, it'll really help us. And man, there's not, at that point in time, there's not a team that we play that I don't think we can beat. I mean, we can beat everybody on our schedule, but BJ is a guy that was an awesome game. He's had a few of those really just great games. We know his abilities and what he's capable of, and sometimes just letting it come to him a little bit. And I think he did an awesome job against Kansas City with that.